What's good, everybody? It's your boy JD back with another NBA 2K25 build for you guys. And you guys have been requesting some more of these quick hitter kind of playoff player builds. So I got for you guys today Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks, kind of turning himself into Captain Clutch here so far in the NBA playoffs in the first round. Obviously doing his thing. He's averaging right around 30 points a game, helping New York. Currently at a 3-1 lead in the opening round of the playoffs. If you guys want to see more quick hitter builds like this and more NBA player builds throughout the playoffs, don't forget to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Let's head over to the builder and check out this playoff Jalen Brunson build. Let's go. Alright, so here we are in the builder. We're going to put together this Jalen Brunson build, and we're going to use as many of his NBA 2K25 attributes as we possibly can. Now, in the game, he's listed as a point guard, 6'2", 190 pounds with a 6'4" wingspan. Now, to get the attributes we want, we're going to bump it up by 1 pound. We're going to go 191 pounds. And we're going to go ahead and take that wingspan out to 6'9" for this particular build, because it's going to be able to max out what we're looking for as far as mid-range three-point shot, all of that good stuff. So point guard, 6'2", 199, 6'9", starting down here with the speed and agility. In the game, he has an 84 speed and an 84 agility. We're going to bump that up at the end here. What I'm going to do is go ahead and put all of these attributes in, and we're going to come up and I'm going to show you a few little tweaks we're going to do to it. So I'm going to start good. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go 84, 84. For the strength, he's got a 60 strength in NBA 2K25 for his official rating, and then he's got a 75 vertical to go along with that. So all in all, not too bad. We're going to come back and make a few subtle little tweaks to this, but I'm going to put all of his attributes in first, and then I'll show you what we're going to be working with here at the end. As far as the close shot goes, okay, this was one where I'm going to skip over the close shot a little bit. He's got a crazy 97 for his close shot. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, because of some of the other attributes we're going to bring up, we're going to go ahead and bump this thing up. It's going to go up to a 75. That's going to be more than enough for this type of a build. As you see, you do not get paint prodigy on this build being 6'2". Must be at least 6'3" or taller. If you want to make this build 6'3" and get paint prodigy, that's completely up to you. But 75 for the close shot on his NBA 2K ratings. For his driving layup, he's got a 98 driving layup. Now, we're going to get close to that. We're going to take it up to a 93, which I feel like is more than enough. It'll get you layup mix master on gold. You can also see you get float game on gold, and then physical finisher is currently on bronze as well. For his driving dunk, he has a 35 driving dunk, which I feel like in NBA 2K25, if you're going to have this type of a build, I feel like you're going to want a little bit of a dunk. So just kind of a precursor. That's something we're going to come back and tweak just a little bit. His standing dunk, not much there. He's going to have a 40 for his standing dunk, which I feel like is reasonable. Actually, in the game, it'll give you a couple of decent under basket animations. For his post control, it's like a 50. And honestly, this isn't a build that we're going to be sitting around living in the post too much. Where the other attributes are going to take it up to will be a 30. We're going to leave it right there. So that's what the finishing looks like as far as his regular stats go. Moving down into the shooting, for his mid-range shot, he has an 87 mid-range shot, which isn't too bad. But again, I think we can make a couple of subtle little changes there. And then for his three-point shot, he has an 86. Now, you do not get anything extra going up to an 86 three-point shot that you don't get at an 83. I feel like 83 would be just fine for a build like this, especially if we're going to have a little bit higher mid-range. You're going to have access to all of the same jump shots and everything. So we're going to leave the three-point shot right here at an 83. His free throw is actually pretty high. Looking at this here, we're in the high 80s as far as a free throw goes. Pretty good free throw shooter. We're going to go ahead and take this thing up to an 85. If you're going to use this thing in the rec center, 85 will be more than enough trust to go ahead and knock down those free throws. So all in all, the shooting pretty solid, especially if we're just using his actual 2K stats. Moving down into the playmaking category, he has a wild 96 pass accuracy. We're not going to quite get up to 96, but we are going to take it up to a 92, getting you Dimer on Hall of Fame. You can also see it's going to get you bailout, versatile visionary, break starter for what that's worth on there. The ball handle, he has a 95 ball handle in the game. So if we take this up to 90 and we utilize 5 of our cap breakers here, that'll get us up to a 95. That'll get you all of the dribble styles and the signature animations that you're looking for, that Steve Francis and all of those other, glitchy dribble moves that some small guards are using. At this present time, I'm still not a vet 2. I have not played NBA 2K25 a ton lately, so I'm still just working with the 10 cap breakers. If you have the extra 5 cap breakers, you will definitely be able to make some extra modifications to this build to make it even better than what I've made it. But for this time being, 90 ball handle plus 5 cap breakers, giving us 95 ball handle. And then down here, 86 ball handle, which is pretty solid for lightning launch on gold, but we're going to use the other 5 cap breakers right here to push that up to a 91, giving us the Hall of Fame lightning launch. And then being a tier 1, you could also bump that up to get legend lightning launch on this build. So this is the playmaking as his build is in NBA 2K25. All in all, I think pretty solid. And then lastly, moving down here into the defense, using his 2K stats, remember, he has a 55 interior defense. So we're going to go ahead and move it up to 55. I don't think that's actually too bad, especially on a 6'2 guard to have just a little bit of interior defense. His perimeter defense is a 73. We're going to bump that up by 1 to a 74. I'm going to do that right now. It's only 1 attribute point. His steal, now with steal ratings are crazy in NBA 2K25. He has a 41 steal. So for the time being, I'm going to leave this right here, and then we are going to come back to it. The block, same thing. He has a 32 block in the game. So we're going to go ahead and leave the block right there. Last but not least, moving down into the rebounding, he has 32 for his offensive rebound, and he has a 45 for his defensive rebound. So if we were going to take Jalen Brunson's stats out of NBA 2K25 as they are currently listed, give or take, he's going to be about a 96 overall. Like I said, we took a little bit off the close shot. That would probably chew up some of that overall. And he has a couple extra attributes on his driving layup. Outside of that, we've pretty much mimicked and matched all of the attributes that he currently has. Now, for some of the changes that I'm going to make this more of a playoff Jalen Brunson build, we're going to come down here to the speed. We're going to bump the speed and the agility both up by 1, giving us an 85 speed and an 85 agility. We're going to move the strength up by 5 notches up to a 65, giving us silver strong handle. I feel like that's a badge that you got to have if you're a Jalen Brunson type of a build. He likes to drive into the paint. He likes to create contact and everything. So 65 there. We're actually going to leave the vertical right here. We're not looking for contact dunks or anything too crazy. So we're going to leave the vertical right there. Now, moving back up into the finishing. We're going to leave the 75 close shot. We're going to leave the 93 driving layup. But I feel like, especially now that we're approaching May in NBA 2K25, if we're going to make this build, Jalen Brunson plus, maybe you want to call it, I don't know what you want to call it, Playoff Brunson, we're going to put some dunk on this. We want to make this build a little bit more fun. Like I said, 80 driving dunk. We're not putting contacts on here. We're not going too crazy. 80 driving dunk gets you a lot of very nice dunk animations, including the Devin Booker. It'll get you the athletic 1, handers off of 1, all of that. You get posterizer on bronze, and you get the aerial wizard on gold, so you'll be able to catch some lobs and do some fun things. For the standing dunk, we're going to leave it right here at 40, and we're going to leave the posting board right here at 30. So you can see, the badges are all pretty solid on this thing as far as finishing. Moving down into the shooting, 87 mid-range, not bad, but we're only 2 attributes away. We're now up to an 89. Get yourself that set shot specialist on gold. You can see Jedi, mini marksman, and Shifty shooter all on silver. Another option, if you did want to take the wingspan up, bump this up to a 92, you certainly could do that, especially if you have those extra 5 cap breakers for being vet 2. Maybe I would suggest going that way. You can get your Deadeye, Shifty shooter and all that, and the set shot specialist, bump them all up by 1 badge. Certainly could definitely do that. I would actually leave the 3-point shot right here at an 83, and then we're going to leave the free throw here at 85 as well. So shooting really isn't going to change too much other than we bump the mid-range up. And then, like I said, if you are a vet 2 and you wanted to use some extra cap breakers here, take the wingspan down by like 2 notches. You could get that up to a 92 very easily. Moving down to the playmaking, same thing. We're going to leave the 92 pass accuracy, 90 ball handle, 5 cap breakers, the 86 speed with ball, 5 cap breakers. And then I think we're going to add a little bit of defense into this. Again, I know Jalen Brunson's not a superb defender by any means, so we're not going over the top on this, but we're going to make it a little more NBA 2K25 friendly. We're going to leave the interior defense here to 55. We're going to leave the perimeter at 74, but we're going to go ahead and bump that steal up. I feel like in NBA 2K25, you got to have a little bit of steal, especially being on a smaller guard. We're going to bump this thing up to an 85, giving us gold interceptor and silver glove. Just going to help you play some lanes, help you play on ball a little bit. Since we're not going to have a huge perimeter defense, You know, defensive rating, we're gonna have some bronze badges as far as challenger, on-ball menace, pick dodger, you know, all of that type of stuff go. I feel like we can make up for a little bit by just adding a little bit of steal. For the block, same thing, we're gonna go ahead and max this thing out. We don't get the 68 block on this, so we do not get the high flying denier. You also have to be 6'3". Again, kind of like I mentioned, moving back, if you want like the paint prodigy, you can certainly make this build 6'3" and pretty much get all of the same attributes that I have here. So if you wanted to do that, by all means go ahead and do so. We're just trying to mimic as close to a Jalen Brunson type of a build as we can. And then as you saw, since we're only 96 overall, we're just adding a little bit to it to make it a little bit more fun. I mean, it's almost May. By the time you're seeing this, it might be May. So anyway, moving down to rebounding. Again, we're going to add a little bit to this. For defensive rebound, we're going to go ahead and push this thing up to a 60. Again, nothing crazy, but just enough to get the bronze rebound chaser. And then you don't really have a lot of, you know, extra places where you can put attributes. You know, if you wanted to add a little bit to the dunk, you certainly could do that. If you wanted to try to push that up, you know, you don't get a whole lot of things. We're going to put the rest of it over here on offensive rebound, so giving us a 44 offensive rebound. So you saw the original Jalen Brunson. You saw some of the tweaks we made to make it a little, you know, a little bit more A, fun, B, NBA 2K25 friendly / playable, whatever you'd like to say about it. Let's go ahead and look at the comparisons and all of that good stuff before we get you out of here. You see we get comparisons of Kevin Johnson, Kevin Porter Jr., and Jalen Brunson himself, even with the modifications that we made on this. The build name you're going to get is a 3-level playmaking slasher. I feel like this could be a really fun build to use in NBA 2K25. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. So that's going to do it for this NBA 2K25 Jalen Brunson build. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know down below what other NBA players you guys want to see. I'll do some more of these quick hitter like NBA player builds throughout the playoffs. It's been your boy JD. Don't forget to drop a like before you get out of here. Subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any of the content. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.